Lesson 2.19 places the emphasis on what in English at least would be the distinction between two different verb tenses, the simple present tense and the present progressive tense. Now, what's that mean? What are those tenses? The simple present is I speak. The present progressive is I am speaking. Okay, I speak and I am speaking. Does it really matter if you distinguish between I speak and I am speaking? Well, yes, in English it matters a great deal. Let's take, for example, the statement, I listen to rock music. If I say to you with a simple present tense, I listen to rock music, you'd think, you're a little old for that sort of thing, but I suppose you could, if you like. That would be feasible, but my statement would make sense. But if I said to you, I'm listening to rock music, you start to worry a little bit because you don't hear any music at all. You wonder, where's this guy getting this rock music from? And so the distinction between the two tenses in English is very important. Well, the nice thing is that in French there is no distinction. That is to say, both ideas, I speak and I am speaking, are expressed with the same verb tense, the same form of the verb. And it's the one, fortunately, that you've learned already. Je parle can mean either I speak or I am speaking. Well, if that distinction is important in English to make, then if I say to you, je parle français, for example, does that mean I am speaking French or I speak French? It could mean either one. I'll show you how there are two ways in which you can tell whether the person is talking about what's happening right now or rather they're talking about what normally is the case. Okay? For example, if I say, let's take the framework. The framework has to do with the words that surround the subject and the verb in a sentence, that precede them or that follow them. They will indicate in French what the speaker means, whether the action is normally the case or is happening right now. If I say to you, actuellement je parle français, the word actuellement means currently. And so you know that the sense is I am speaking French because of the word currently. Or if I say to you, je parle espagnol. Je parle espagnol quand je suis au Mexique, when I am in Mexico. Would I be saying at that point, go ahead and translate, which is something we never do. Je parle espagnol quand je suis au Mexique. Would I be saying I speak Spanish when I am in Mexico, or I am speaking Spanish when I am in Mexico? Which is it? Yeah, it's the first of the two. It's I speak Spanish when I am in Mexico provides the framework so that I know that the person is talking about what normally is the case, but which is not happening right now. If I say to you, je parle anglais quand je parle avec mes enfants. Je parle anglais quand je parle avec mes enfants. Quand je parle avec mes enfants means when I talk with my kids. Okay? So was that first part of the sentence, je parle anglais, was the sense I speak English, I am speaking English when I talk with my kids? Which is it? I speak English or I am speaking English when I talk with my kids? Yeah, it's I speak English normally. You aren't my kids aren't here, it's not happening right now. So the sense is I speak English when I talk with my children. So by the framework of the additional words in the sentence, you can tell in French if the person means right now or normally. The second way in which you can make that distinction, you can tell what the person means, is by context, the context of the conversation. If, for example, I were to say, je parle espagnol, am I telling you what I'm doing right now, or am I telling you what normally is the case? Well, obviously, since I'm not speaking French or Spanish right now, I must be indicating that I have that ability, and I can speak Spanish, and normally could take place in my life, but it's not happening right now. Okay? So the context of our conversation, of our situation, makes it clear what I meant by je parle espagnol. Or if I say to you, moi je suis professeur. Et toi, qu'est-ce que tu fais? As for me, I'm a teacher. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Am I asking you, what do you do, or what are you doing? I'm a teacher. What do you do? Or I'm a teacher. What are you doing? Well, it's the first of the two, isn't it? The context of our conversation, because I'm talking about one's profession, not your current activities, makes it clear that I mean, the sense is, what do you do for a living? Okay. Last example. let's assume that at this, while I'm trying to teach very seriously, I'm really into this right now, all of you suddenly from behind your desks or wherever you are hauled out a hula hoop. What's a hula hoop? Maybe you don't know, but your teacher can probably explain it to you, or look in Wikipedia or someplace online. In any case, you haul out this hula hoop, and you stood up while I'm trying to get this lesson across, and you started hula hooping to your heart's content, and I would want to say to you, hey, what are you doing? What do you guys think you're doing right now? And in French, I would say to you, mais qu'est-ce que tu fais là? I'm talking to each of you individually. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Qu'est-ce que tu fais is the identical statement I asked in the last context, which is what do you do for a living? I said, qu'est-ce que tu fais? What do you do? But now when I say, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Same words. I mean, what are you doing? What in the world are you doing right now? So you see how the same statement can have two different meanings. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? What do you do? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? What are you doing? And by the context, the situation you're in, it will be clear to you which of the two meanings the speaker is trying to convey. Now, whereas je parle français could mean I speak French or I am speaking French, and the framework or the context will make it clear which I mean, is there not a way which I can really emphasize that something is taking place at this very moment? I'm glad you asked. That's what 2.19 is all about. 2.19, this lesson is teaching you an expression, not a new verb tense, that's not necessary, an expression to emphasize that something is going on right now. And that expression is être, which you know very well. Hein? Je suis, tu es, il est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont. Être plus the expression en train de, which roughly means in the process of. So I could say to you, if I said to you, je suis en train de parler français, I would be saying I am in the process of, or I am speaking French right now. Or what are you guys doing right now? In fact, I kind of like to know what you guys are doing right now. I'm glad to see the hula hoops have been put away. If I were to say to you, qu'est-ce que vous êtes en train de faire? What are you in the process of doing? Notice I said, qu'est-ce que vous êtes? There's être. Vous êtes, and then en train de, and then notice I said faire. The entire infinitive, it's called, the long form of the verb, which is the action I'm actually talking about. Qu'est-ce que vous êtes en train de faire? Tell me that. We're listening, Mr. Nesbitt. We're right now in the process of listening to you. How would you say that? Well, say it individually. I'm listening, Mr. Nesbitt. Yeah, hopefully that conveyed what you said. You said je, and here's the verb être, je suis en train de écouter, which run together is je suis en train d'écouter. Je suis en train de, and écouter make d'écouter. Je suis en train d'écouter, Monsieur Nesbitt. Okay. Well, hopefully by the end of this lesson, 2.19, you'll have a much better grasp on how to express this idea of what's currently happening. First, what it means, the expression en train de, what it conveys, and then how to form statements with the expression en train de, and especially the verb être as well. Okay. Je pense que ça, c'est tout ce que j'ai à vous dire. Hein? See you soon.